This video is about how to get started making money online. And in this video, you're going to find out about some of the biggest pitfalls that there are. There are a lot of people who go about this and they will spend years and they'll be at the same place, if not worse off than when they started. And so I want to help guide you in a way that will make that not happen. And I think that with the things that I'm going to show you in this, you can actually have set yourself, instead of kind of on a path that is a very likely chance of failure, you have what I would consider to be inevitable success if you just keep going. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that and why I truly believe that that is absolutely 100% true. I've got some uncommon ideas that really simplify your work and help you focus and break down what really matters, so that you don't see all these hundreds of thousands of pieces and become overwhelmed. There are a lot of moving pieces to most business models, but at the same time, if you can focus on what really matters, that can really help a lot. And really, how can you be sure that you're actually building your business? Because you want to build. You're building towards something. This is not like creating a job, like becoming a freelancer. That's not what this is. Not exactly what this is. And it's not about creating a job that's independent. It's about building a business that becomes more profitable, more easy to run over time. And I think there's some really important principles in here that I think will really help you. My name's David Hood with Digital Domination Dojo, and I've been independent of having needing a day job for 7+ years now, 7.5 years now, and I'm very happy. And I've seen a lot more outside of what I've done. I've seen a lot of other people. I've bought a lot of products outside of my primary business model, which has been search engine optimization, specifically client search engine optimization. So that has been my core focus. I have a few other areas that I do make money on, but that has been the most common place that I've made money, and I've made well over $1 million in that area, and several hundred thousand in other areas as well. And so, this is something that I feel like I have a lot of experience with, and where I also really like to go in and kind of extract, not just from me, but from a lot of the other people that I know that are actually successful, and the unsuccessful people, what are they doing right, and what are the other people doing wrong? And I think I can really narrow it down into a few different things that are going to be easy to understand and make it easy to focus as well. So simple business model ideas. I did it kind of a Google image search for a business model. I don't want you to read this. This seems a lot more complicated than it is. And really what it comes down to is there's going to be one single thing that you're going to be able to focus on that's going to make it so that you know your business, you're building your business model, your business. Okay. And there's kind of three major areas of focus, three major areas where you can determine how you're moving forward. Your skills, your wins, and essentially your reputation. All right. Now, the one single thing is the skills. If you are building your skills in an area, in a concerted long-term focus, then you're building your business. Because if you are building your skills, it makes it so you can get wins, and so you can build your reputation. If you're not building your skills, it becomes very difficult to get wins and reputation, unless you're like basically a con artist, which there are some people out there like that who can kind of either take other people's wins or pretend they're wins when they're really losses, or avoid getting, get a good reputation without actually having developed their skills. But for the most part, the best way to do this is to build your skills, and then the other things follow. And over time, as you build your skills, you build your wins, you build your reputation, your business becomes easier and easier and more valuable, and you need to work less hard, essentially, for the same amount of money. Now, there's really only three pieces to pretty much every business, and you've got traffic, conversion, and product. Okay, and you can think of this as like essentially a service is a product. So every business needs to basically get their target market to come to some sort of place where they're able to sell to them and deliver a product or service. Even like a restaurant has to do this. You think about it, a restaurant has to have traffic They have to have people driving by or seeing them on like Google Maps or something, and then they have to convert them. Somebody has to actually drive there and make a purchase, and then they actually have to deliver a product or service. More in in my industry, in terms of online, the traffic can come in a lot of different forms. You can have organic traffic, which is like SEO. You can have social media traffic. You can have paid traffic, and then there's some other ways to kind of get traffic as well. But you have to basically get traffic. You don't create traffic, you redirect it. Essentially, the traffic is already there. You don't create it, because it's like creating people. There are real people out there who are your target market, ideally, and you want to get them, attract them, or push them to your conversion process as best you can, and then convert them into a paying customer, and then deliver on your product and service. Okay, and if your business is missing any one of these pieces to a significant degree, it's not good. You could have there are some people that have really great traffic, really great conversion, and terrible product. That is a recipe for making some money quickly, but actually your reputation works against you in this case. This is probably the most common kind of way that people are kind of successful, but they have to really keep going through a lot of people. So long term, it doesn't necessarily get easier and easier to build their business. You can also, if you have all the best conversion and the best product in the world, but you have no traffic, then that's not good either, right? Because nobody's seeing your sales process, so nobody's seeing your product. If you have traffic but terrible conversion and a great product, then you're sending people to it. Nobody is buying, and so no one actually sees your product. Okay, so you need all three, and some of these are easier than others. I think traffic it's not quite like skills versus wins and reputation. Traffic, though, to me, is one of the biggest pieces of the puzzle. The most difficult things to do. Conversion is pretty difficult, and I think product and service typically is the easiest part of this, especially if you have good skills. If you have good skills, a lot of times that's directly related to your product. So by building your skills, you're also building your product. Okay, for me, building my SEO actually built my traffic, my conversion, and my product all in one. That's a whole other video. And I talked about the most important piece is going to be your skills. So to simplify, you pick some skill. You pick a single skill, and you ignore everything else. I'm going to go more about that in a second. So your plan, and so let's just your long-term commitment. Basically what you want to do is you want to make a long-term commitment to a specific skill, a single skill. If you're just getting started, a single skill is good enough to make you millions of dollars. I want to repeat that: a single skill that is useful, that is good, is enough to make you millions of dollars. Okay. Now there's another key piece here, is that, do you go after like the best business model, or an excellent business model, or a good business model? And really, this is actually the wrong way to look at it, because, well, it's wrong in a lot of ways. But first of all, you definitely don't want to look after the best, because what is the best? And it can mean different things at different times. And that means that you're always trying to find the next best thing, and you're going to jump around from one idea to the other, And the person who's always looking for the best thing is going to be the person that 2 years in the process, or 1 or 2 years into trying to do this, they're going to have bought a bunch of different products. They're going to spend a lot of money, and they're not really going to have made a lot of money. And they're always looking for the best, that maybe that one button, push button millions, and they're not going to really be anywhere. They're not going to have a business. They're going to have a little bit of skills in a lot of different areas, and that's not good. And so really what you need is like essentially a good to excellent business plan that you stay focused on for a long period of time. That is much more important, that you can be consistent in. You don't have to like work on it every single day, and you can even take weeks off, but that you consistently come back to. So when I got started with my business, after I quit my job and had some savings, I was like, all right, I'm going to do client SEO. And looking back, I think, well, that was not the most optimal plan, but I picked it and I stuck to it. And I said, I'm going to freaking figure this out. And I kept at it. And after about 10 months, it took me about 10 months. I went from basically making nothing, I was making nothing with client SEO to making about $14,000 per month with client SEO. Okay, so that is the power, but like in the first 6 months, it was not good. When I was about 6 months in, I was really questioning my decision. I was really thinking, is this even something that can work? And that can work? And I was like, wait, but there's all these other people that are actually able to make this happen. So I know it can work. I just didn't see it. Because the thing here is you're gonna hit some walls. There's gonna be, no matter what path you pick, you're gonna hit some walls. And if you hit that wall and you get a shiny object and you go over to something else, you're just giving yourself another wall to hit, as opposed to figuring out how to go through the wall, over the wall, around the wall, under the wall, whatever. Because in order to be successful on any path, you're gonna have to overcome some obstacles, okay? And that is what stops your competitors from doing it. This is what stops other people from doing it. So by solving those obstacles, eventually you put together enough solutions to where you've got enough to actually have the traffic, the skills, the traffic, the conversion, and the product to make good money, okay? And to build that over time. Okay, so that is really, that's so much of a different philosophy that most people have. But with this, actually, I want to point out that you have inevitable success. All right, now, this is really important because if you are consistent, if you say, I would say like at least 1 year, but let's say 1 to 2 years. Give yourself 1 to 2 years. Pick something that's good, at least good. And say, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to ignore everything else that isn't directly related to this. Yes, along the way, you're going to kind of learn some side skills, but never spend a lot of time and energy trying to focus on that. So if you pick SEO and there's like some ad stuff, maybe it's something that's useful where you want to like have a little bit of it, but if it takes up a lot of your time, what's better off is to either not do it, completely ignore it, or to have somebody else do it for you. Now, as you develop your skills, I've developed more skills outside of SEO, but that's over several years. In the first 1 to 2 years, SEO is all I did, okay? Okay, so here's some ideas for some skills that you can choose to focus on and commit to. And you know, basically your objective here is to get mad skills, yo. And that would be SEO, and there's a lot of different types of SEO. You got local SEO, which can be client SEO. Most of my client SEO is local. Some of it's national. Lead generation, which these are kind of the two major areas that I have made probably more like 90%, 90 to 95% of my money has come from these two areas. There's affiliate SEO. I've made a little bit with this. I've never really been super successful. There's YouTube SEO. I'm putting a star here because YouTube is kind of its own thing. It's not just a search engine, but it's also a suggestion engine. So a lot of your traffic can come from suggestions. And there's a whole load of other benefits to YouTube SEO, which is why I'm kind of putting a star there. Like there are plenty of people who call themselves YouTubers, and that's all they do is make YouTube videos. They don't even have a website a lot of times, and they make money with just YouTube. So you can do that. That's legitimately a path to success. You just say, I'm going to do YouTube. I'm going to make a bunch of YouTubes. I'm going to pick a topic, and I'm going to focus on it, and I'm going to make YouTube videos for 1 to 2 years. I'm going to make it, and you're consistent, and you make 1 to 3 YouTube videos a week, then you can make money from that. All right, assuming that you're consistent and it's actually a market that has people. If you make YouTube videos on something that like size 13 pink shoes, and that's all of your videos are like that, well, maybe that's not going to be great. But even there's some really weird stuff on YouTube. Like there's a YouTube channel called Man Eats Food, and he just eats weird stuff, and he gets a lot of views. So maybe that works for you. There's also all sorts of different types of ads. I'm gonna do kind of like / direct marketing, sort of like direct response marketing. Because this isn't just about learning the ads, because the platforms for Facebook ads is not really the hard part here. The hard part here is understanding how to do direct response marketing to where you can get people to actually take action in the way that you want them to. And so it's not about like the technical skills of learning the platform. While there is some of that, there's also the sort of the whole process from somebody doesn't know you to you get their attention. You get them to take a little bit of action, a micro commitment, and then you get them to take more action to the point to where at some point they take enough commitment to where they're actually giving you money. And that is something that is very successful. There's plenty of people who have whole business models based around Facebook ads that can make a lot of money. And you can do the same thing with these. Of all these, I think that Facebook ads and probably YouTube ads are the top two that I would pick, even though I don't have them right there. So social media and content marketing. So I put these kind of on the same line. A lot of people think, oh, well, social media marketing is different from content marketing. Well, I kind of think they're very closely related, because if you're making a post on Facebook or on Twitter, that's content. All right, and because I'm also putting YouTube here, because I think that's kind of a form of content marketing. A lot of people put YouTube under social. I think it's more of a content marketing type platform. And now you can do all of these eventually. Like in this business model for Digital Domination Dojo, I do all of these. Okay, but that is after years of development, years of being in this business. You don't need to do that, and you shouldn't. Not only you should not try to master all of these. What would be better is to turn yourself into a badass at any one of these things. Even if it's just, I'm gonna be a badass at Twitter marketing. That's it. Now I don't know for sure. I can't vouch for that being a valid business model. I know that Facebook marketing is definitely something that you could 100% focus on. YouTube, I think Instagram and Pinterest. I'm not sure about Twitter. You might want to do your research on that. That's probably the only thing on here that I don't know for sure. You can just focus on that one single line, but you could have a whole business around Google Ads. That's all you did. You just were a total badass at Google Ads or total badass at YouTube Ads. Okay, so pick one of these, and this is not an all-inclusive list. There's other things that I'm not putting on here that you could totally do, but pick one skill. Pick a skill, stay focused on it, commit to it, and your success is inevitable. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you have any questions or thoughts on this video. Please like this video if you liked it. Please subscribe, and have a great day.